Have you ever thought about how brands just seem to always make sense? Think about the four P's: product, place, promotion, and price. We never question it. Nothing seems irregular or sort of odd or anything like that. Everything always seems to just make sense. Take, for example, the new trendy brand Allbirds. They entered maybe one of the hardest industries to enter, casual shoes, but they made it work. How? Besides doing the research, they made their marketing mix a reflection of who they are and where they stand in the market. Allbirds knows who they are, who their competitors are, what their position is, and who their customer is. I want to take you through a quick rundown of their 4 Ps. Product. It's a casual shoe that other brands like Nike and Adidas produce, but there's a catch. It's made from sustainable materials. Price. They aren't cheap, and they don't run sales. But you know what? Their customers don't care. Allbirds doesn't have to worry about getting into a pricing war with their competitors. Place, like Glossier, they're a direct-to-consumer company, but they have stores in most US metropolitan areas, like in the trendy Minneapolis neighborhood, the North Loop. Promotions, they stick to the internet in places like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but they're always pushing their story.
And we have a shot to take it one step further and think about people in the context of thinking about planet. I think brands have a huge responsibility to do better by people and the planet, and they have the ability to do so. And any step in the right direction towards accountability is worth it.
So a lot of us have spent a lot of time learning about the 4 Ps and the marketing mix and what it all means. And I don't want this video to be like one of those videos. What I want this video to be like is I want this video to show you what I expect in my papers and what I think you should be thinking about, whether it's in your job or a side hustle or any paper that you're writing when it comes to a marketing plan. And so what I want to do is I want to give you a quick rundown of what my expectations are and what I think you should really think about when you're doing these. So we're going to focus on 4 different things. So the first one is your company. What does your company mean? What does it look like? What is the image of your company? When people see your company, what do they think? What does your company stand for? This is what should be reflecting in your 4 Ps. The next one are your competitors. Who are your competitors? What are your competitors doing? Where are they in the market? How are they positioned in the market? And this is what you need to be thinking about when you're coming up with your 4 Ps. How are you differentiating yourself from them? But also, what are your points of parity? What are your points of difference? And how are you going to fit in that area? The next thing you need to think about, who is your customer? What are your customers' wants, needs, and fears? What are they looking for? You need to have it in the right place, the right time, or the promotion, the right product. All 4 of those P's in the right perfect spot for them. And the last one you need to think about is, what is your category? What is everyone doing in that category? If you go back and you look at my Glossier video, everything that they talked about at Glossier is setting them up to make the perfect 4 Ps, and that's why they are so successful. So everything you're doing in your paper, your side hustle, or your business needs to be focused on those 4 things that I told you about. You should constantly be going back and asking yourself, does it match all those things? If it does, you have the perfect price. If it does, you have the perfect product. If it does, you have the perfect promotion. And if it does, you have it in the perfect place. And that's how you build a successful business.